Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining in. Today we have a very special intuitive message and we're going to do some tarot, really pull upon this reading. But essentially, really what's going on is this is going to be a collective message. If it's your first time just stopping by, welcome. Hopefully you're able to grab a message out of this reading. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for all the support. And if you're a member as well, same thing, welcome back. Thank you so much for all the support and let's hop right into it. But essentially, this is a collective reading for those that have been in separation from someone in particular that they always knew that they would be reunited with, that this would be a connection that the two of you would ultimately end up being in together in the long run. So it's a really beautiful message to deliver. Okay, Spirit wasn't ready yet, but we had one already flip out. So welcome to everyone that's going to join in, and we're going to hop right into this message. Go ahead and hit that like button or subscribe if this resonates for you, and welcome. Wow. Jump in and fall into my arms. Absolutely. I feel like no matter how much time has passed between you and this person, we'll just say this energy. Because you could be a feminine or a masculine watching and resonating with this reading. This reading just really resonates with someone who is like your forever lost love. Someone who you know is your soulmate. For a lot of you, your twin, the person that you're supposed to be with in the long run when all's said and done. And a lot of you could be experiencing a separation. So I thought it was really important we start with these messages. And as if that popped out, that is so beautiful. Fall into my arms. Surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. So you and your person, you could have always came from opposite backgrounds, opposite ends of life, different cultures or different financial brackets. One of you could have grown up very much in more an abundant part of their life, and the other could have grown up in struggle and poverty with their family. To each their own story, but it shows a very much in contrast in a relationship. So you'll know if this resonates for you and your person, but in particular, you and your person, opposites attract. The two of you really vibe together in that difference, being different. So jump in, look at that. Say yes to change. So this is you and your person deciding, doesn't matter what's been on between you and the situation, it's time to forgive and to move forward together in love. And when it comes to love, love has no measure. It is truly immeasurable. You and this person have a deep, unconditional love for each other. So this is how you'll know this is your person that we're referring to. So there should be no questions when it comes to mind for this reading. It's the person that you know at the end of the day, even if they're in another relationship or they're not, and you are, or however this may resonate for you, because this is collective. Whoever that person is on your mind at the end of the day that you know you're supposed to be with, this reading is for them. So we're going to hop into it, and thank you so much for everyone joining. So let's get some tarot next. But as if fall into my arms came out, I have only seen that card maybe once or twice since owning the deck for over a month, 2 months now. So that is really beautiful to see. I feel like everything happens for a reason. And if you're on my channel, you absolutely know this fact. So thank you so much, everyone tuning in. Welcome. Wow. This is how your person feels when the two of you are together. You definitely have the same energy. The two of you outgoing, feeling like you are able to achieve your dreams, your successes with this person by your side. Now it's time your person wants to voice all the things that were left unsaid between the two of you, all the things that haven't been discussed, that haven't been forgiven, that haven't been finalized. For some of you, it's like if you became in a separation due to some tower moments, your person wants to put closure to that and have a fresh start. Wow. 3 of Pentacles is the family card. So look at that. This person wants to have a family with you. They see you as the person they are meant to have this long-lasting connection with in this lifetime. Ace of Wands, you could be dealing with a fire sign. We've got earth, lot of fire. We've got a bit of water, and we've also got Scorpio there with the Tower. With the Ace of Wands, though, you and this person are truly connected on a deeper spiritual level. I'm getting big twin flame vibes for this reading. Absolutely. And if not, one or the two of you experienced this spiritual awakening upon being in this relationship in the past. Now, if both of you haven't experienced a spiritual awakening, when the other is supposed to is exactly when the two of you are coming back together for this second and final reunion, this final reconciliation. This has always been a part of the plan. You see, for some of you, when the two of you met, you weren't ready to be in this long-term, deep, connected relationship. The two of you could have been young or still figuring out life, or if you're on these extreme opposite ends, trying to just configure a relationship together, making that work. Neither of you were ready for a serious long-term commitment, but what happened is his spirit separated you so that the two of you were able to grow into your each individual selves, who you're supposed to be. So that when you come back together, you provide each other with this stability, this long-lasting relationship. You both know now lessons about loyalty, about honesty, and regardless of which side you're on, because you could have been on the side that was always loyal, and that was your person's lesson to learn. But it also could be vice versa. You each had a lot of lessons to learn separately before being reunited, and Spirit's saying now, with me delivering this channeled message, for most of you, it is time. You will know your story if you feel like you've healed, you've done the work, and you've truly forgiven this person. Because for some of you, you may have gone through stages where you forgave this person, then you didn't forgive this person for maybe what the past was like. You and this person could have had a very up and down relationship at one point, possibly due to the separation or the cause of this separation. But it was all down to divine timing. Either one or both of you weren't ready for the intensity of this connection. You weren't ready to have a family life with this person yet. And maybe you were, but this person wasn't ready. The two of you just weren't on the same page yet. And for some of you, you could have either been the more experienced person in relationships or your person was. But whoever was playing catch up wasn't ready to commit to the other, wasn't ready for that engagement, that marriage, that living together, that solidifying a long-term connection, a plan to be together for the long run. And the energy right here, you can see your person is loyal. They are a committed person. When they commit, it's for the long run. So what happened is you and your person had a lot of lessons to learn on your own paths before you were reunited. Now, for a lot of you, Spirit is saying it's time. It's time to come back together. The two of you have so much to talk about. You almost have to get to know each other all over again for some of you. Like, the two of you have both grown and evolved into totally different people. But what will keep you connected is the love that you share. Because the love you share is truly unconditional. And this bond, you now realize it couldn't be broken. No matter what test was thrown at it, no matter who tried to come in between it, or whatever life difficulties happened even between the two of you in the relationship. As much as you both healed separately, you still always long to be back together, to be in this union. And for a lot of you, it's time. Spirit's saying, ooh, it's time. Beautiful. And this person means business when they come back. 10 of Pentacles. They're like, okay, let's move in together. Let's get engaged. This is the energy definitely from this vibe right here. So this is really beautiful to see. Thank you so much, everyone, tuning in. We're just kind of starting. But you and your person in the past experienced some sort of very difficult tower moment. Something that separated the two of you in the relationship. And this needed to happen. Ultimately, this needed to happen because Either one wasn't appreciating the other, was really taking advantage of the other's connection, or ultimately it's like the other person just still had a lot to grow. If they weren't taking advantage of you in any way, or deceitful, dishonest. Because for some of you, the issue was they weren't ready for commitment. So ultimately they could have really tried to mess this connection up by going to third parties, by being non-committal. But see, this was all part of their lessons to learn when the two of you went into this separation. Wow. I can't even. The sun, it's here. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful for anyone who is experiencing a twin flame separation. You could feel the energy if this really resonates for you. This card indicates as this beautiful weather is coming in, as the change is coming in, this relationship is changing. It's growing. It's evolving. It's evolving into a new form of the relationship, into a more committed one. Passionate, stable, and for a lot of you, a lot more truthful. The two of you, after experiencing this separation, are going to be able to understand why it was so important, not only in the first time you dated, but now, to have that clear and honest communication. Why it's important that no matter what the issue may be between you and your person, that the love you have for the two of you is greater, that you can overcome it by being honest and being open. And for some of you, your person was the one to run away from the connection every time things got hard. And if they didn't run to third parties, they just ran. They could have grown cold or disconnected. And this could have caused a lot of stagnancy in the past, possibly even a separation. Just feeling like the two of you were not on the same page. Now, for a select few of you in the past, your person intentionally pushed this relationship away because they weren't ready for the commitment. And the only way they knew how to push you away, because they didn't want to hurt you. Because your person, for a lot of you, knew even back then that the two of you were supposed to come back together for this ultimate union. But your person didn't want to hurt you. So what they did is they did foolish acts, things to really throw you off, to make you feel like this connection wasn't for you, so that you were the one to push them away. Because in the back of your person's mind, they always knew no matter what was happening, you were where their happiness lies. You brought in the sunshine. And this person knows that they do the same for you. They might not always say it to you, especially if it's a masculine, but they know that the two of you really do that for each other just by being in each other's energy. It's like you have this ability to calm your person down. You really nurture them and make them feel valued. You do this more than anyone else ever has for them in their life. So ultimately, they really look up to you for that. And this person could be someone who's very much attached to their family and to their friends. But when it comes to you in this connection, you provide a different kind of love. A stable love. A love that your person has never felt before. A love that your person knows they're not going to feel again, especially if you've been in this separation. Welcome everyone just joining in. I really hope this is resonating. This is such a beautiful message. We're just really getting deep into it. But for a lot of you, this separation was necessary to teach you both the lessons that you needed to grow in your own life. And ultimately, wow, thank you, Spirit. Spirit saying for some of you, why you came together before you were ready was so that you could catapult each other into that growth, into those new cycles. Because when you met this person and when they met you, instantly, the two of you either hit it off right away. You knew instantly, like it could have been love at first sight for a lot of you. For others of you, just very quickly growing connection. You realized how much it was emotionally stable, how much it had the potential to be a long-term commitment. And for a lot of you and your person, you both previously could have experienced long-term relationships, but not to that capacity. not to that emotional capacity and understanding. The two of you have like this unspoken communication, this bond. Queen of Cups and the Ace of Wands there. This real ability to connect on a deep emotional level. And even through touch, you could be often the type of couple that holds hands or just even loves to give each other long hugs. It doesn't even have to be all about passionate, but just even the simple little things like that, that recharges your person. And for a lot of you, they know it does for you too. So you two being in this separation, the two of you have been growing and going through all these changes. And wow, Spirit, they just said to think about how much, of course, it wouldn't have been as effective if your person had been around. Like, this is why this separation was essential, to really push you into pushing yourself to be better for you, not for a relationship. But Spirit's saying for some of you, it's like if your person would have been around and you would have been around your person, it would have been too easy for the two of you because you really give each other that uplifting, boosting, loving energy. So it was almost like a challenge to have you two separated. So for a lot of you, definitely twin flame union. Now, either one or both of you is clairvoyant. Because it's in reverse, I feel like only one of you is, more so than the other. But either way, you have this ability to connect with each other on a 5D level, definitely in a dream state, and energetically as well. Wow, at the bottom of the deck, we've got the rebirth just hanging out. We're going to shuffle, see what comes out, but look at that. New cycles are coming in. It's time for this love to be reunited. And for a lot of you, you both have done the work individually to come back together. And this time it's like going to be a long-lasting love. Of course, this is a very specific message. So if it resonates for you, go ahead and take this message as yours. But if it doesn't, please leave it for someone else. But for a lot of you, if you know you've been putting the work in and you can feel, especially if it's a twin, you can really feel each other's energy. Wow, as if it just flipped out. Sorry, I just like yelled in the mic. Thank you, Spirit. Look at that. Rebirth is here for you and this connection and this person, for your person. We've got 111 in the chats. 111 didn't just show up for nothing. Absolutely. You and your person running away from anything that held each other back. Anything that was a hurt or a fear. This is what you're running away from. Choosing love every time. Choosing to make it work together. And the two of you are really going to come into some like beautiful new energy. For some of you, you're going to discover new gifts that you have. You had no idea. For others of you, this is going to be you and your person just really, like I said, something about energy. Never had this message in a reading if you've ever tuned in, but like I said, Spirit said if the two of you were together, this rebirth would have been too easy. With the two of you separated, it pushed each other that much harder. And also it made you realize how much the two of you know now that you want to be together. And like I said, if you are dealing with someone non-committal, this is big to them. This is life-changing to them to know that you're their person. And after this separation, when they come back, they don't want to fool around. They don't want to have, well, are we committed? Are we not? Hiding you on the gram. No, they're going to be showing you off. They're going to be all about the connection. As if Spirit just said, maybe say hiding you on the gram. Hiding you on the gram. So, okay, some of you, when you dated the first time, this person really didn't want to show you off on social media. Could have been another platform. Didn't have to be that one specific. But for some of you, it was like little things like that. And that's how you knew they were non-committal. Because you could have been the opposite, showing your person off. Or for a few of you, it was vice versa. And you were the one being stingy on showing off the connection. Whatever those issues were, through this separation, you both have learned. Like the error of your ways. Because I feel like even on your side, whoever's watching collective, there's probably a few things you realized about yourself. Maybe you were a little insecure with the connection because you were so drawn to this person. You could have been very much attached to it, maybe codependent in the past. And wow, thank you, Spirit. So one person had commitment issues. The other one had codependency issues. So ultimately, separation, boom. One was for commitment, one was for codependency. You'll know which side you're on. Spirit just said it's clear cut as day. Absolutely. So for each of you, I'm feeling like more the collective, you had the codependency issues. Not like because you wanted to be, but just because you had a fear of losing this person, possibly, and maybe never felt a pull so strong, a magnetic pull to their energy, to their love. Welcome everyone just joining in. Really beautiful reading so far. Wow, the Hermit in reverse, so look at that. The lessons are over. Time of being separated and being, for some of you, like, spirits had you both in a spiritual lockdown. Not actually, but in a sense of like you're learning deep down what it is about you that you needed to change for this relationship. And same with your person. Your person could have been the type in the past that actually used to go out and be with their friends a lot instead of dealing with the emotions. But now what's happened is spirit actually had made them sit down and really say, okay, this is what they need to change about themselves. Because I feel like whoever was the non-committal person for a long time, they would preoccupy themselves with other things instead of focusing on what needed to change on their part in order for this connection to grow. And so for a lot of you, if it's been a long time separated, this is why. Spirit said your person was slow to realize that the faster they spent that time alone to heal was the faster it was going to bring the connection back together. Ultimately, they were just so lost or hurt over the way that the connection ended with you that that's why they were spending the time being surrounded by other people that cared about them. So they didn't have to feel the loss of you. But the sooner that they actually decided to feel the loss of you, because of course this will be a little bit different for everyone. For some of you, it was after a couple weeks, they did right away. For some of you, they did, right away. They didn't waste time. For others of you, it was a couple months, even a year, 2 years for some of you. But this person has finally learned that when they spent that, for some of them, Spirit said it was only like a week. They needed to really just focus on them and their emotions, how they were feeling. I'm not sure. It's different for everyone. But of course, they took the 8 months to get to that week of really sitting down and processing the ending or the breakup. And so that's what really held it up. And you could have done this as well. Spirit said, you'll know what side you're on. This is collective. But for some of you, you could have been the person refusing to heal as well. And now ultimately, it's time. The two of you have learned. The two of you, with this being in reverse, have spent that time alone, really figuring out, or at least in separation from each other, what you want out of this connection. And so Spirit's saying it's time to come back together for this rebirth. That is so beautiful. So before we even get any more tarot, just because this is so beautiful, we're going to get some love messages from your person. See if there's anything they want to convey. For a lot of you, though, this person was a runner. If you were dealing with a twin flame dynamic, this is why you could have came across as codependent, because you were the chaser and they were the runner. But that won't apply for everyone, but for some of you, definitely. It was like you never had a codependency thing, but you came across that way by trying to chase them instead of letting them go to grow and heal. And ultimately, too, that held up the cycle to change. But all this is over with. For a lot of you, it's been a long time coming. You've been waiting to hear from this person. Some of you could still have this person blocked and not realize. For others of you, Spirit is saying, let them come to you. Collective, let them come to you. For some of you, they're still healing over whatever relationship they've been in between the two of you. So definitely that's a message for some of you. Next one, I love everything about your body. So, okay, this person is much so attracted to you. But it looks like they're healing from someone from their past. Okay, so let's see. And this, like I said, it could have been a relationship they've had in between the two of you. whoever was the runner could have had one or multiple relationships trying to forget about this connection with you. But it's like when they did all that, that's what this non-committal person realized. They wanted to be in a connection with you, or the fact that they kept running away every time things got difficult. And they could have learned that by being in the next relationship with this next person, that all relationships truly are difficult and it takes putting the work in instead of jumping from one to one. And for some of you, this person needed to see that, you know, they thought the grass was greener, that whole term, you know, grass is greener, or they wanted to have their fun and, you know, be non-committal. But ultimately, all this taught this person was the fact of the matter is you were the only person they wanted to be with, or if they're going to have to put work into a connection, they only want it to be with you. Because I think too, for some of you, this person, spirit really gave them a wake-up call that you truly love them unconditionally and did a lot for them. And they didn't realize it until the two of you were in this separation, how much you truly either inspired them, uplifted them, or kickstarted their changes that they weren't ready to face yet. Who are you going to choose, them or me? So this message could go for either of you, but since this is from your person could see that maybe since the separation, you have other people interested in you. Well, this is sweet. Look at that. There you go. So no matter who they've been with since the two of you have been separated, or who they hang out with, it says, you are my best friend. You're the one person I know I can always count on. Definitely. And you know what? Spirit needed to give your person a rude wake-up call on that for some of you by completely removing you from their life. That was the only way they could have that realization for some of you as well. I've never felt this strongly about anyone ever. So really beautiful energy. Your person right now, they're admitting that they've never had such a deep connection with anyone. And this was all through their own self-discovery. For a lot of you, this person just did not want to commit. It wasn't that they didn't love you, but when it came to a serious connection of, okay, now it's time to have more than just dates and sleepovers and making dinner. When it comes to, okay, you moving in, paying the bills, are we having kids, are we getting married? Or for some of you, you could have had all that and then they weren't taking care of their responsibilities. Whichever that may apply for you, this person had a serious wake-up call from Spirit. And wow, that's so beautiful. Spirit just said for some of you, if you have kids with this person and they have been absent, they want to step up. They want to step up for those kids. They want to be there, and they want to start taking accountability for things that they haven't in the past. I want to take you away somewhere romantic, just the two of us. Now, for some of you, this person may have told you, maybe you have a difficult separation between you. Spirit just wants me to reiterate this. This is a very specific message for someone. And Spirit said for someone out there, you are kind of upset with this person if they have been an absent parent. Spirit saying to let that go. Remember, it's about the kid. And at the end of the day, if this person truly is saying they want to change, even if it sounds like a broken record, for some reason, they want me to say this, it's different. And remember, it's for the child, ultimately. So I really hope no one's upset with me for that message, but I feel like that's a beautiful message. This person is changing. And if you took back your family, your kids, or your energy, this is what showed them too. That they need to step up. They need to be more responsible. And it's not just about them. I feel like for a lot of you, you had someone non-committal who was just more focused on their own achievements, but because they always thought you'd be around. But then once you pull back your energy, or the two of you separated, you both realize that there was a serious separation going on, and this person realized that they might have lost you. So I trust you more than anyone in the world, sometimes more than I trust myself. Absolutely get that vibe. Beautiful. On top of the Ace of Wands too. And earlier, if you've just tuned in now, I was saying it's like you and this person have this deep spiritual connection. You're emotionally connected. You're in tune. And definitely feel like this person, you would already know this about them, or if not, especially, wow, if you are a parent and you are like the main provider for this family, Like, say you are the main caretaker of the kids and the two of you are separated at the moment. They're saying the reason for this is because they trust your decisions with your family more than their own. And this is where this person has, like, learned how to mature. Spirit has shown them. But at the same time, this person just needs to take more accountability. And the two of you can really have a beautiful relationship. As they've learned, they're on their way back. Look at this. When I think of love, I think of you. You are my happy place. You have this amazing ability just to calm me down by being with you. So that's really beautiful energy to be in. I'm going to make you my wife/husband. So however you may resonate with that, this person sees you as long-term commitment. We have 3 more here still in my hand. A lot of messages popped out. I got scared, so I ghosted you. I'm sorry, it hurt me too. So for some of you, this person actually completely ran. You'll know if that resonates with you. For some of you, this person, I don't want to cover the pretty cards. For some of you, this person completely just like ejected themselves from the situation when things got difficult. I'm finally ready to commit. And we've got one more message here from this person. Oh, there's actually 2, as if. I can't stop thinking about you, especially all the things I want to do to you. So this person's already been thinking about the day when the two of you come back together, how they're going to win you back over, how they're going to allure you, tempt you. For some of you, you know this person either wears a really nice cologne or perfume, and this person's gonna go all out. If it's a feminine, gonna look super nice, all done up. If it's a masculine, same thing, gonna be all shaven, looking fresh. And yeah, I just feel like you and your person are both gonna have this vibe when you see each other. That's really sweet. So for some of you, this person's planning a really special way to bring the two of you back together. Maybe they're gonna ask you to just trust them, to go out with them for the day for a date or for a dinner. Whichever this could be, it's like this is going to be a beautiful reunion between the two of you. I just thought of, that's so sweet, Spirit. It just made me like emotional. So random reference, but this could really help you visualize it. At least the intensity of the emotions, not necessarily the scene itself. But I feel like since this is mostly usually feminines watching this reading, and hopefully maybe a few masculines have seen it too. But in Sex and the City, at the end of the movie, it's like, sorry, I don't know why my voice cracked. It's like, I got all emo for a second. Okay, so at the end of the movie, it's like Miranda and her husband, they had broken up because I believe he was non-committal. He stepped out on the marriage. So ultimately, their relationship parted ways. And at the end of the movie, they decided after, I think it was like a year apart, right? To put their differences aside. And he said, if you truly love me, meet me at the bridge. And so at the end of the movie, they've got this beautiful song playing. I won't say it because it's so much better when you see it and hear it. You'll know it. But ultimately, if you know exactly the scene I'm talking about, you can feel the emotion conveyed just by looking at that. Like the love that they have for each other. They decided to set aside any of the past hurts and traumas. They overcame together, and they truly decided from that moment forward to move together, to move in love together. From that day forward, they let go of everything from the past. And I really feel like this vibe, for whoever resonates with this, of course it may not be at the specific bridge. I feel like this is in New York. They do it at the bridge, so beautiful. But regardless, it may be in a park. It may be out for dinner. It may be in an elevator. It may just be at the randomest place. I'm not sure, but however it's going to be, it's going to be one of those moments that will forever be remembered. And you and your person are going to make this decision together to really trust each other, to realize that all relationships take work, and that you two found each other, the two that actually want to make it work with each other. Your person doesn't want to waste any time being in other relationships. And for a lot of you, you've been either you waited for this person in the past, or you've moved on to other relationships. But I feel like regardless how it resonates for you, this is you and your person, like that moment, just that love, that pure unconditional love that no matter what, you will face it together against the world. You'll overcome it in love and forgiveness. And yeah, I feel like your person could say something like this when you see them: I'll forever be grateful for having you. Also, your person could have been someone who wasn't very much spiritual before they met you. And the way that you are, you've turned them spiritual. This could also be vice versa. But for a lot of you, you really turned them spiritual. So that's really beautiful. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, everyone, tuning in. This is really beautiful reading. So let's get a few more cards and see if we can get the who, what, where, when, why, because I'm nosy. And I feel like everyone tuned in here is like, okay, I need to know the details. They're coming back, but when? Wow, that's really beautiful, though. Spirit just really wants me to convey that to you. No matter what you and this person have been through, this separation was necessary. It was necessary in order for you to have this rebirth and this realization that you're meant to be together. And like for some of you, as much as you may not want to hear it, maybe for some of you, your person did need to go out there and date a few other people to realize that you were the best thing there was. Best thing on earth. Boom. That's so beautiful. Ride slow. I don't know if anyone knows that one, but that's a good one. Take this relationship slow. That's what Spirit's saying. All good things are meant to last. Well, thank you so much for joining in. I really hope you are able to resonate with this reading, hun. Feel free to check back as well. We are about halfway through, but it is such a beautiful message. You and your person, if you resonate with this, are reuniting. For some of you, fire sign or a water sign. Had a bit of air energy and a bit of earth energy as well. But regardless of the energy, you know, the beautiful thing too about the water and the fire is just the fact of opposites. Opposites attract. And if you just tuned in now, at the beginning of the reading, Spirit was really having me point out the fact that you two came from such opposite worlds. And so that what was part of the struggle initially in dating the first time around for the two of you, and why the two of you may have separated. People not agreeing with the relationship, the two of you not being able to understand each other, feeling like you're on different pages. And ultimately it was through the separation that you figured out none of that stuff matters. Because all relationships take work, and all couples go through moments where they're on separate pages. But it's about being honest, about communicating, being loyal, and being dedicated to the relationship. Because for some of you, one of you was all in and the other one was half in, half out. And it really affected the relationship in the past. So this is really beautiful. Now let's see what other messages Spirit wants to deliver. If this is resonating and you know you're coming back together with your person, go ahead and hit that like button. And thank you so much for the support. Wow. The end of depression, of confusion, of conflict is over. I feel like the two of you have spent a lot of nights in mental anguish or tears over this connection. And for a lot of you too, could have even been prayer. Why, Spirit? If you know this is your person, why? Why for so long? Why the disconnection? For others of you, it even got to the point where you questioned the connection. Like, was it meant to be, or was it just, you know? And then that's when things really get difficult. But I feel like whoever resonates with that last message there, Spirit showed you every time why this is your person. And same with your person. If your person was the non-committal runner, every time they were like, nope, they're going to find someone a little bit better, they were shown, no, this is your person. You need to take a look back where you were. Quit trying to move forward. But of course, only make that resonate if that's your story. For some of you, this person with the Knight of Wands in reverse, they could have been very hot and cold in their passion as well. So one of the ways you could have had a disconnect in the relationship and maybe cause of issues is like they could have been all in sometimes, super passionate, connected to you physically, romantically, giving to the connection, around you, possibly, you know, really together. And then they could have went ghost, right? We had that message earlier. They could have went ghost or went silent, totally dipped out at times, leaving you feeling confused. This is all past energy, though. This is part of what this person had to learn, too, that they were doing that to you. Because for some of you, this person was doing that, and then they were getting upset that you were reactive. And then this caused a huge separation between the two of you. But ultimately, it was because there was no proper communication, and the two of you were just on different maturity levels. So this is really beautiful to see. It's like, not only is this connection coming back together, but the two of you, if you're truly able to sit back and look for a second, you may have noticed how much you've grown and changed since the separation, and your person's definitely in the same type of energy. So not only is this connection being reunited, but the two of you have ultimately changed for the better. And what's a better thing to ask for? So for a lot of you, definitely getting twin flame vibes. A twin flame separation. You'll know too, if you resonate with twin flame, if it literally felt like your heart was being ripped out of your chest the entire time you've been in this separation. You could have had good days where you got through it, but ultimately, as much as you kept going, who's that first person you wanted to call? Who is that one person that you always wished you could communicate these changes with? Or say something came up that reminded you of that person. But you knew, too, Spirit showed a lot of you couldn't reach out. You couldn't just pick up the phone and call them like you used to because they needed to go through this process still. For a lot of you, you were told by Spirit to sit back, to actually let them come to you. So for each of you, it's going to be different. But we've got a few main numbers that stand out. We've got 2, 4, and 7. So for some of you, either 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 7 weeks, this person wants to at least get together. Spend some time together. You may not get the connection off the ground in these next few weeks. It might be up to 7 months before you're connected again. But this person's definitely going to reach out. Some form of communication. The separation has not only been upsetting to you, but it has been to this person because you two are directly affecting each other almost like a mirror. This person could be younger than you. For some of you, you could be the younger one. But there's definitely an age difference as well, which signifies the maturity levels. So one person just being not quite as ready for the commitment. And for a lot of you, that was always what the issue was. Getting together before both people were ready to commit. One might have just gotten out of a serious relationship. The other one might have not been ready for a serious relationship. 10 of Pentacles, look at that. But now you're both on the same page. 10 of Pentacles, literally the best card to get right now. Notice them. Oh, hey, it's okay, so sweet. And honestly, it reminds me, first of all, like the movie Cheaper by the Dozen, where they have like a bunch of kids, because look at, they even have the golden retriever. But no, it all honestly looks so sweet because it looks like a really happy, loving family where they're both agreeing on the future, and boom, they got 4 kids. So for some of you, you're gonna have a few kids together. You're meant to have a big family for some of you. And wow, for some of you, your person is spiritual and knew this. And this is why they like ran, because they weren't ready for all that. And they knew when they got in the connection with you, this is it. So, okay, if your person was younger than you and they met you and they knew that you were their person. Spirit just said this is a lot of the reason for the separation. 44 on the live. Because they knew and they got freaked out like, wait, this is it? There's no more dating. There's no more. What if there's something better? Like, they questioned what spirit brought them. It's like for some of you, either you or your person both directly asked. Divine asked your spirit guides for this true, genuine love connection. And then when it came in, you're both like, are you sure? Is this it? At least for sure one person. And one person ran. One person ran to third parties, to other relationships, or at least ran from a commitment with you because they weren't ready. Queen of Cups though, but their heart always belonged to you. That's the second time that came out now. Very much so, the two of you are connected emotionally. Spirit just has me looking at that card that's so beautiful too. You notice the crown, so definitely heavy divine feminine, divine masculine energy there on that card. So you could definitely be counterparts. Okay, so a couple more just flipped over. So now your person's ready to reunite, and when they reunite with you, they want to have a good time. 4 Wands. They want to take you out. They want to take the relationship back to when the two of you used to have a really fun bond together. Maybe initially the two of you used to travel a lot. You could have either you traveled the world together, or this person loved to take you out of town for dinners, for weekend getaways, something like this. And this is what this person wants to do. They just really want to connect with you on that type of level. So that's really beautiful. There you go. Your person's gonna be like, hey, let's go away. And need I say more? Especially if it's a weekend getaway. Won't be leaving the hotel room. Gets a weekend getaway, doesn't leave the hotel room once. That is for someone. If you've been in a long separation and you have like a deep connection like that, for some of you, this person wants to take you to one of those little romantic, like week getaways where it's just like one of those cottages, just the two of you. That's so sweet. You know the ones on the water? Could be one of those. I'm not sure what they're called. 9 of Pentacles. Look at that. Anything the two of you do, you can do it together. That's how they feel now. And what your person is most proud of you for is they've seen you reach for your dreams and not allow the separation that happened between the two of you to stop your growth. Because for a lot of you, your person knew it broke you the most. Like if you were totally aware when you met this person, like this is it. This is your person. Rest in peace, Michael Jackson. This is it. But legit, like literally, rest in peace, Michael Jackson. But this is it. I could say those 2 lines over and over again every time I say this is it. But yeah, this is it. Your person knows. There's no one else. Wow. So for some of you, they've been clearing up loose ends. Say they've been in a karmic relationship. Those all just flipped over on my hands. 10 of Cups. Ultimate wish fulfillment. Letting go of toxic ties, karmic relationships, bad habits. For a lot of you, it's your person learning to let go of their non-committal ways. So there you go. Really beautiful energy. Thank you so much, everyone, tuning in. This reading is so beautiful to convey to you today. Look at that. Separation time over. For some of you, it's been a long time. You could have been in separation for months, this entire winter, maybe even longer. And it's either you or your person. Someone was in another relationship and the other person has just been alone. So the person that's been alone has actually been just like, okay, so what's going on in this connection, right? And I feel like for some of you, you finally let go and was like, okay, so do you move forward? Are you with someone else? What do you do? And Spirit's like, tricked ya, your person's coming back. What is it? Psych. Psych, your person's coming back now. Especially if the two of you both, wow. Spirit's tricky like that. That is so funny. Spirit said, especially if the two of you both got yourself in other relationships, they're like, oh, now you're delaying yourselves. So time to figure it out and come back together. So one or both of you has to put an end to other connections. But I definitely was getting the vibe, like I was saying a little bit ago. I feel like one of you moved on and one of you spent the last few months alone, really just healing and growing. But whoever's been alone, healing and growing is like, what about me? Like, you're radiating love, you're glowing, and you're ready to get your passion on with your person. So, wow. Just know they're like, can you hold on? Let me clear up these past situations. I'm coming back to you, my love. Wow, so sweet. But definitely feel like in the past, I'm going to keep shuffling because this wasn't on camera, but literally just holding the deck from what I just pulled out there. And Judgment in reverse. So in the past, people had too much to say about this connection. Either people were getting in the way of it, or just they didn't support it. And whatever that kind of issue that happened in the past, your person could have been the type that cared what their family or their friends thought, or they could have even had a friend that was jealous that wanted to get with you and could have said stuff. But regardless of whoever had those type of issues, they see past all that now. Part of the separation was for them to see that as well. For a lot of you, wow. If you know your person separated and like quickly moved forward, it's because they had someone tell them that you were moving forward, which wasn't true, but only so that your person would, so that they could move in on you. That's a select message for a few of you. Now, if you know your person moved on real quick, like didn't waste any time, was with someone new, and you felt like it was kind of spiteful, for a lot of you, it's because of false information from one of their friends or someone they cared about. Could have even been someone close to you that had feelings for you. But this person did it intentionally to separate you two. So I feel like there was a few situations, though. Definitely could have been family or friends or even co-workers. People that just didn't want to see the two of you together. And so when the separation happened, whoever was facing those obstacles with people in their life, as soon as you were removed from the situation or they were removed from your situation, you or them were able to see right away who was trying to hold up the connection. And for a lot of you, if it's a twin flame union, you both had karmics in the past that either had a say or wanted to block the connection. But part of the separation is coming to that realization that, wow, 5252 on the live, relationship, it's only about the two of you. No one else's opinions at the end of the day matter. And it took you two separating for some of you to figure that out. But I feel like a lot of you, it was your person that needed to have that realization. Look at that. Your person acted like they didn't want to have a marriage. The Strength card there. You remained really strong in the entire situation, ultimately. Look at that. So, the Fool, new start, having the strength to walk away from any relationships that no longer serve you and move towards your relationship together. You could be dealing with a Leo, a Taurus, a Pisces, or a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. A lot of water energy and a lot of fire energy and a lot of pentacle energy. Welcome everyone just joining in. This is a really beautiful message. So we're going to give a few more messages for you as to this person, kind of what their next plan is. For some of you though, this person's like ending previous relationships. They've got people they're attached to, or you've got people you're seeing and attached to, and Spirit's saying, okay, now the veil has been lifted. You both see that you want to be with each other. So now the time is to, wow, Spirit, I love when I get to say this word. Now it's the time to correlate your paths into one direction. Excuse me while I had a sip of my tea. Correlates. Beautiful. So Spirit writes the blueprint and y'all just follow the lead. So ultimately, you're about to be brought back together, and the biggest message to know right now is you two have both had immense strength during this separation, and when you two come together, you are going to be at your absolute top energy together. You're going to feel like you're on top of the world, able to really achieve anything. And you know why? Because at the end of the day, life all comes down to love and forgiveness. And for you and your person to finally be able to have that moment together, that realization that your love can overcome these obstacles, it's going to be for some of you, one of the greatest moments of your life. If you know this is your true love, like, it makes me emotional as a reader to actually have to convey this message. It's really beautiful. Someone out there needs to hear that. And for some of you, it is someone that you had a marriage with previously that you never wanted to separate from, but there could have been obstacles or influences or this person being non-committal, something that got in the way. But now it's like things are really coming together. And you may have spent a lot of sleepless nights or nights spent alone without your person. Missing them too, especially if you two always were the type that your person, for some of you, could have rolled over and, you know, gave you a kiss in the morning, or you to them. You were very much so, you appreciated each other. Even back then, even if there was commitment issues and all that, you two always appreciated each other's energy, even in the simpler times when it came down to just being together, or the more exciting times. For some of you, you love to travel together, go on different adventures. And that could have been what was a big switch too in your life since the separation, just being in this solo mode, wondering when your true love was coming back, or while you were healing too, going through those cycles of, do you let go? But what it comes down to at the end of the day, and I feel like collective, you realize this, is that it all comes down to divine timing. And truly, a lot of you knew this was your person, but in order for it to really manifest back into this long-term connection, you truly had to be able to let go. Let go in order to heal and come back together. But this is your soulmate, and for a lot of you, twin flame vibes. If you don't resonate with soulmate, but twin flame vibes. Look at that. The Fool, that new start is here. For some of you, you're watching this because your person already has reached out to you. They've already initiated some sort of contact. Might have just been a small communication. Might have just been an unblock for some of you. And for others of you, it might have been meeting up and talking. I'm not sure. It'll resonate each differently, but it's coming. It's literally here. 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 7 weeks. Big numbers for sure. And to those just tuning in, this is resonating only specifically with someone that you have disconnected from, but you knew this was your person. You knew this is your one person that you're supposed to be with. And if this reading doesn't resonate, definitely check out another one. Very specific message. But this person and you were separated either through toxic past relationships, third parties, or even just the fact that you had to grow separately. Someone had a fear of commitment and the other person was codependent. This is the vibe I get. For a lot of you collective, you were the slightly codependent person because you were constantly chasing after your person who was being non-committal, who was running from the connection. So that's what made you be a codependent person. Because some of you might be thinking, well, no, you weren't intentionally codependent, but there's other ways that that can come about, and that's why this separation really happened. A lot of you healed that. I feel like Spirit's going to give you this realization. You're going to be somewhere by yourself, and you may get emotional. You may have a moment where you just realize how much you have emotionally matured since the two of you have separated. that this rebirth, as much as it could be really painful for some of you if you felt like this was your long-lasting commitment person, the person you're supposed to at least have kids with or have a family with, this rebirth now, you are able to look back and say, wow, as much as it was painful and it hurt, it needed to happen. And it was for both of you. And if you two haven't reunited yet, wait till you have those discussions, Spirit said. You haven't even talked together yet about how much it's going to be like, boom, you're going to shoot off one epiphany your person had, or you had about your person and how much you miss them. And they're going to do the same. And I feel like the two of you are just going to have such a beautiful, because we had the 10 of Cups before there, beautiful energetic pull and exchange and conversation. And you're really just going to lift each other back up the way that you used to. Realizing that no matter how long or whatever happened in the past, it needed to happen. And for some of you, it's like no matter how painful it was, now you're realizing it needed to happen because it changed you both for the better. Not only for the connection, but for your own lives forever. And the two of you, this is why this connection is so significant. Because you already knew upon either meeting this person or upon being in a relationship with this person, that this person would forever impact your life. That this was the person you were supposed to have this long-term relationship with. So thank you so much, everyone tuning in. This is such a beautiful reading. Like, seriously, if you feel like you've been like, okay, about time, you've been waiting for your person to have these realizations, your person is mirroring you. You and them both have had these realizations at exactly pretty much the same time. Just no communication, no reconciliation, no coming back together yet to have these discussions. But Spirit's saying when you do, it's going to be such a beautiful moment. Because for some of you, you've either totally let go of the connection or you've battled that back and forth if they've been in another relationship. For some of you, you could have thought that the marriage wasn't going to be a marriage because there was someone else. But this is where it's like Spirit is realigning things and allowing the two of you to make the changes needed in your lives separately to come together for that long-lasting commitment, that marriage. That one that you knew at the beginning you were supposed to have and then it got a little blurry in between, that's the one. And for some of you, this was part of the growth. You two were on different pages because you both had such different lessons to learn. The person that was non-committal and ran, they were someone who trusted a lot in their friends and family's opinion as well. They were non-committal, they didn't like to make their own decisions, and they feared deep commitment when things got tough. Then I feel like for a lot of you, that's your person. And of course, if it's the opposite energy, switch it. But for you, collective, the vibe I got that you're codependent because this person would constantly run from the commitment that you knew was long lasting, that was meant to be stable. And ultimately they were running because of their fear of this love. And that's what created your codependency, constantly trying to say, well, how come you're running? Or if they would disconnect, well, how come, right? Like, you could have broken up and then they could have been with someone else. They could have came back. There was just constantly a separation between you. Feeling like you're being left out in the cold. For some of you, you questioned everything about the relationship, about who you were as a person. All that was meant to happen because all of it evolved you. And Spirit just wants me to reiterate this once more for someone out there. You're going to have a realization soon while you're by yourself how much you've truly, truly grown and elevated as a person. And you should be really proud of yourself for all that you've overcame. You and your person both. Whoever had the commitment issues too, big thing to overcome. Huge thing to overcome. If you and your person are connected from past lives, this was a reoccurring issue that no one was committed. And now it's like this cycle has been broken. But specifically, whoever had this issue in this lifetime had this fear of commitment because of their family and either like an abandonment issue, or they had seen a very toxic relationship when they grew up. So they didn't believe in long-lasting commitment to be a good thing. But upon going through the separation with you, losing you, dating around or not, they realized that they'd rather be in that long-term fear of commitment with you, making it work, than they would be without you. And so this, as a reader, is the most beautiful message to convey to you today, honestly. Just know that this separation, it may have seemed like a very tough battle, but it has taught both you and your person to be the best version of yourselves. And ultimately, it's like the best thank you that you could give to each other. Because imagine that's how much you allowed each other to grow and elevate each other through a separation. By loving each other from a distance and also not stepping in between it. Like, there was times for you, collective, if your person moved on to third parties and was out entertaining options, was partying with their friends, there may have been a lot of times you wanted to step in. You were hurt. You were at home alone, healing, wondering why your person was making those decisions. But the fact of the matter was, Spirit told you, no, don't intervene. Let them learn on their own time, no matter how long it takes. Because then once the realization hits home, it's not you just saying it anymore. It's them realizing it. And wow, Spirit, for a lot of you, when you had this separation, there were so many things you had said to your person that they realized on their own. And then Spirit was like, hey, reminder, your person said that or showed you that. They would like click that into, they'd be like, wow. You know when you have that like epiphany moment, like, wow, like just picturing someone like totally stop, just being like, whoa. Yeah, Spirit did that for your person. Definitely whoever was the one that was kind of more aiming towards always trying to make the relationship work. One of you had a little bit of understanding on the difficulties of either relationships or the fact that a good relationship was worth working towards. Whereas the other person might have been someone who constantly just committed to a new person as things got difficult. But see, whoever ran, they realized they couldn't replace your energy. It wasn't just like that. And the harder they tried to place your energy, the more and more they got away from you towards others, the less the energy was like you. So wow, Spirit, thank you. So the more it literally pulled them back to you. So for some of you, if your person has always watched you from the sidelines or kept denying your social media, or here and there they reach out, but the two of you don't communicate, you haven't seen each other, this is why. They've always tried to keep you not on standby, but for some of you, they did for a bit. Whoever was kept on standby, though, Spirit showed them that too, that they can't do that to you. And so this is why for a lot of them, if they're in another relationship, they're walking away. They're over that. They want to come back to where their heart is. Now, please remember, this is a very specific message. So if you know your person is in a happy, connected relationship with someone new, this may not be your story. But if you know that you and your person are coming back together or are meant to, then this absolutely could resonate for you. Justice flipped over. In the past, this relationship didn't stand a fair chance. There was either people in the way of the connection or just way too different maturity levels and just different levels in life. Now things are finally being balanced out, and that is the justice. You could be dealing with a Libra as well, or you could be a Libra. Wow. And for you, you have grown so much. Ace of Swords. For some of you, wow, this just fell. For some of you, Spirit said, through this separation, you have not only really grown, but you've become a lot more knowledgeable, either about twin flame relationships, about some particular subject. It could be even to do with being a relationship coach. Like, you went from being the person who was very highly emotional, Spirit saying, to being someone super balanced. And so for some of you, that was part of the separation for you to really come to that emotional maturity. And wow, Spirit's saying like when you and your person get together, the two of you are so opposite that as to who you were when you knew each other, but in a good way. Like you've grown so much that you're both so much more peaceful, calm, understanding, and a lot more mature when it comes to love and connections. Like, look, that is wow. So through this separation of you and your person, I don't think I've actually ever gotten to the point of tears on a reading, but that's like really intense energy right there. I've never had these two cards together. 5 and 10 of Swords. Notice how they're both like separated and like devastated. It was through this separation that the two of you realized that your heart is forever connected and belongs with each other. That is so beautiful. And notice how all the birds. So, divine timing. It's all about spirit guides. We're always leading you two back together. I feel like the two of you either have guardian angels or definitely spirit guides, probably a little bit of both there, that honestly guided each other together. I'm surprised that message didn't come out. That is so beautiful. Wow. And if you notice how the crow is really like in his ear. So for some of you, the masculine, and for some of you, if you're masculine watching and you know this wasn't you, this could have been the opposite. Take it how it resonates. But for some of you specifically, the masculine was not spiritual. So the birds, the spiritual messengers, really had to drill it into them, right? Really had to say it over and over again in multiple different ways and signs that you were their person. Okay, these downloads right now are too much. So for some of you, your person, this is how far they had to go. Your person was like trying to forget about you, the non-committal one, moving towards others. Spirit would literally make like your face pop up as they were like either about to kiss one of them or like they would turn to look at them. Just like literally throw your person right off to remind them that they were trying to run so far from your connection. That's a very specific message that won't resonate for everyone. But for some of you, your person was trying to avoid coming back so hard that that's how far they went to remind them. Or it's like they could have been sleeping next to another person and they would be dreaming of you, or they'd wake up thinking about a dream they had with you. Just stuff like this, because it's like your person was trying so hard not to go back to something that they thought was going to take some work. But see, then through this separation and seeing you and feeling your energy, even no matter who they were with, friends, family, other relationships, your person started to realize that they were running from something they didn't want to run from. And for some of you, Spirit wants me to say this was you too. You could have went through phases where you felt like you were waiting for this person to heal. Then you were angry this person didn't heal or didn't come back when you thought they would. You were very overprotective of this person. Definitely very much so connected to possibly that codependency vibe, right? You, especially if you knew this person was moving forward, you were always like kind of keeping an eye on them. Like, okay, what's your next move? What are you up to? We've got wand energy. Could have been dealing with an Aries, Leo, Sag as well. But with this specifically, it just really shows that you kind of two are holding on and not letting them just like come back or be. And this is past energy, because look at that. Wow. So Spirit's literally saying this is what the separation was for. 9 of Cups, for you both to get your wish fulfillment. Where's that 10 of Cups at? Okay, well, maybe it's back in the deck. We had it out earlier. But this is why. Oh my gosh, look what's right behind it. Bro. Okay, and this is what I'm saying. This comes down to the final. It's the final countdown. Look at that. The High Priestess. You always knew this was your person. Okay, so that's how it really hits home. You always knew this was your connection. Look at that. Ace of Cups, the World, Nine of Cups. And the Moon in reverse. No matter what illusions were cast on this relationship, no matter who tried to get in the way, who, what, where, when, Waldo, all the karmics, no more illusions getting in the way of anything. You both needed to separate, though, to truly find your wish fulfillment in order to be able to come together and have this new world together. For some of you, you're meant to travel the world together when you come back together. Wow, maybe that's what your person's going to say. Maybe the two of you have been like building your own businesses or your own careers separately. So maybe two. Okay, Spirit just like really took it there. So if you tune into my readings, a few days ago, I believe there was a reading that's separation. Just someone feeling like they weren't on your level yet. I feel like it was a soulmate message, to be honest. Regardless what it was, this person in separation just felt like they wanted to either work on their finances and their confidence in order to come back together. If you resonate with this, definitely kind of feel like that ties into this. You and this person specifically both had career to work on, your own dreams and stuff. It's like you were thrown together just to get a taste of what the future life was going to look like for the two of you. But the separation was put in place for you to both really go after your dreams so that when you do come together, it's like the blessed life. The blessed life, the best life. Nine of Cups, that personal wish fulfillment. Now with the World, some of you are actually like going to come back together. This is where I was breaking down to, pardon me. And because you've done so well separately, you're going to come together and both realize that you got bank going on now. Maybe the two of you, one of you was more financially stable than the other in the past, or maybe the two of you were struggling. But now it's like you both have experienced a level up when it comes to stability and finance. So when you come back together, the two of you might decide just to spend a month traveling. For some of you, it might be longer, might be a couple weeks. But I'm really getting this vibe that you and your person are going to just do some serious travel together. That's really beautiful. Aw, that's so sweet. Imagine just like the two of you reconnected after all that time. Maybe you will have that moment on that bridge in New York. That Miranda Sex in the City moment there. That is so sweet. This reading is so beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone tuned in. Wow. But yeah, if you resonate with this, you and your person, it's like they just want to travel with you, relax with you, and for some of you, it's like make up for lost time. Especially if it's been a year, couple years apart. That is so beautiful. Wow. That is so beautiful. This person knows that you're their world. And if you're watching this, you already feel the same way about this person. You feel like they literally make your world better. And this is why for a lot of you, this separation was so difficult. Because collective, if you're resonating with this, you trust in divine timing. You trust what's meant for you is meant for you. So when you met this relationship, you felt like this was your person. And then when they decided to disconnect or to pull away, could have thrown off your intuition, could have thrown off everything like you felt you knew. And ultimately, you could have even felt like, yeah, you can heal and you can overcome this on your own, but this person lights you up in a way that no one else does. And so just know your person feels the same vibe. It just took this separation to really realize that. And pardon me, I was on a rant there, but I did see someone say something about becoming a moderator. That would be absolutely awesome. I'll definitely add you on there. Thank you so much for offering. Princess Twilight. So we've got Ace of Cups and the Moon. So look at that. The illusion is neither of you saw this coming the way it is. Maybe even a couple weeks ago or before this reading, you didn't feel that energy. You didn't feel like it was going to be anything. You could be in no communication for a long time one or the two of you both in other relationships, but ultimately know that the two of you both know where your heart belongs. And the realizations have been made on both ends now. So this is such a beautiful reading to deliver to you. I almost was moved to tears, okay? I mean, your girl's an empath. I literally will cry over movies. I can't lie. Like, I will cry over movies or shows. I'm so connected to stuff like that. But I haven't almost broken down to tears in a reading yet, okay? So this was an intense one and really beautiful for whoever this resonates for. You and this person are meant to come back together. And like I said, it could have been a long, tough battle. But if you look back, if that separation didn't happen, you both wouldn't be in the places where you are today. And for some of you, your connection would have ended back then and it would have stayed ended. But because of the way the separation went, something about it, you realize now that this is where your heart belongs and your person does too. The funny thing I see about this card though now makes sense. If your person's the one with the other relationships and all the other stuff they got to work out in the background, you're like, okay, like, when's it happening already? It's been a long time coming. But it's coming. It's coming. So beautiful. And spirits, for a select few of you, either your person or you or the two of you both got told illusions about the other in order to keep the two of you apart. So people either told your person you were in a new relationship or were disloyal to them, or vice versa. People told you that your person was disloyal in a new relationship, and that's either what caused them to actually move on to the relationship or what caused the separation to be for this long. But the longer that you've been apart, this is how this person and you both realize that all of that was either lies or nonsense or literally just blocks created to keep the two of you from experiencing this long-lasting love. So let's get a few more cards, but honestly, I never have I ever had such beautiful cards out for you all. Look at that. The Hierophant, marriage. Your person, they may come in with a marriage. They might actually have a ring. They might already know. And say you're the masculine watching and then your person moved on with someone else. Maybe that's what confused you. Maybe you bought the ring. You thought that was your person, and then all of a sudden they were gone again, so you were kind of confused. Just trust. Spirit's saying for me to deliver this, it was all meant to happen the way it was meant to happen. But this start is here. This new start for the two of you is here. Wow. Thank you so much, everyone joining in. I really hope this is resonating for you. This is such a beautiful reading. So you could be a water sign, you could be an earth sign, you could be an air sign, you could be a fire sign. We got pretty much all the signs on the board. And, you know, the beautiful thing about this card, never saw it this way before, but notice how inside the cloak, it's like a whole new world. This is how your person feels and how you feel. When the two of you come back together, it's going to be like getting to know each other all over again, but in the best possible way. For some of you, you're going to travel, and this is when this person's going to get down on one knee. Wow. For some of you, you may even be a masculine watching, and your feminine might want to do that. You know, it's really sweet. I saw this video. It was on TV, and it was a couple and another couple on the news. They both proposed to each other at Disneyland at once. It was so sweet. I mean, personally, I prefer if a man proposed to me, but hey, to each their own. It's 2022, right? You maybe the feminine wants to propose. But it was so sweet because the feminine got on one knee and proposed to the masculine. And then he literally goes, no. And he picks her up. And then he gets on one knee. It was so sweet. Y'all gotta check it out. I think it was on Fox or something. But it was at Disneyland. So just put like double couple, married double couple. Like double engagement, I guess. Double. It wasn't a double couple. Just double engagement. Welcome. So nice to see some of my original subscribers in the chat. Welcome, Jennifer. I definitely know you've been tuned in since the beginning with us, so welcome. Nice to see you on one of the lives. Glad you could make one of them. This is so beautiful. Wow, look at that. So your journey alone is finally almost over. Spirit saying, don't forget the last few suitcases. Make sure you didn't forget anything behind and get ready to go meet back up with your person. The two of you might decide to move together somewhere. They might ask you to move to them. And for some of you, vice versa, they may move to you. But I feel like for a lot of you, it's going to be the feminine kind of being asked to go. Just because of the feminine energy on there, but vice versa. But yeah, I just feel like this is Spirit saying you've done the work, you've healed, and it's now time to bring the two of you back together once and for all. And look at, if you notice, she looks so happy. She's like, okay, on my way. Doesn't matter the weather. Got the boots on and the skirt or the dress. Aw, that's so sweet. So too, notice it's like she's all dressed up, ready to go, ready to reunite. Reunited and it feels so good. I don't know how to sing that one. My apology, but that's the vibe. I totally just like get like that song was just playing over and over again. Look at that. 3 of Pentacles. So for some of you, this was a separation in a family. This was literally like your baby daddy, baby mama, someone you always knew that you wanted to make it work with, but it just didn't. And this could be a miracle for some of you, really choosing to make it work despite all the past obstacles, all the indifferences. And if you don't have kids, you just had a long-term relationship. For some of you, you could have had fur babies together. You could have had different type of family, right? You could have adopted. There's different ways. You could have even been a step parent to their kids. But whoever it was, however you were connected with your family, it's being brought back together. And if not, if you didn't have kids or like pets with this person, your families were connected. You knew their family well. They knew your family well. And wow, 8 of Pentacles. That is so beautiful. That is the work and home life balance. So literally look at that. With the 8 of Pentacles, it's just so sweet because it really represents that you're finally going to feel balanced at home. Aw, you guys are so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nancy. That's so kind. And yes, Chance, that is like an old school but wicked song. So look at that. 8 of Pentacles. Wow. That is so beautiful because ultimately, I feel like for some of you, you two are going to live together or you're just going to be inseparable. But you're going to feel really good being at home again. And for some of you, it's like if this person's been gone, that's so sad. You know, obviously, it's like a house doesn't feel like a home. Say you lived with this person there before or they were always there and they just left. Could feel really empty. You could still be reminded of them. For some of you, you moved because you didn't want to feel that energy anymore. But for whoever it is, it's definitely signifying the fact that it's like you're going to just feel better at home. So I feel like this person's going to be in your space a lot again. Maybe they used to be, or vice versa. You could have been in their space a lot. This is really beautiful. Wow. So with the 3 of Wands, we've got that in reverse. The end of feeling passionless, feeling like you didn't have your physical needs met by another. That longing to be loved by the person you want to be with. That touch. Those long kisses, you know, those long makeout sessions. For some of you, that's how you really connected. You and your person could have been very much so sensual together. All about touch. All about cuddling up, watching a movie. Or I was definitely picking up on like hand holding earlier. So that's really sweet. Chivalry is still going strong. Love to hear it. Definitely leave a comment in the chat if you are a huge believer of chivalry, you know, holding the door for your person, saying thank you, and just being a gentleman or a sweetheart to your person. Absolutely. Because especially as we get further along into dating, into the day and age of ghosting, it's like those sweet little things in a relationship really show one another how much you truly respect each other and care on a deeper level. So I feel like you and your person, though, always had that passion. So you could have been really feeling the loss of not being with them, feeling the disconnect. And just know that's coming back. That's going to be returned, restored. Spirit wanted me to say, pardon me, not returned, restored. But it's like times two. Because the two of you now have grown to a higher mental capacity when it comes to love and understanding and like forgiveness and the depths of your love for each other. It's gotten a lot more strong than it used to be. So now, wow, okay, Spirit wants me to go there. Gonna be a little bit more of an intense thing, but it's like when you two reunite on the passionate scale, like the love making is gonna be that much more intense because the two of you have grown so much as people. Spirit just said if you thought you had a deep connection before, wait till, well, first of all, you know, after all that time spent apart, coming back together is going to be like fireworks for some of you. Like I said, if you're planning on going away for the weekend, there's going to be no leaving. But what Spirit wants me to just really get across is you two have emotionally evolved so much that like so has your love making. So when you see each other, and for some of you, it doesn't mean you've been out there with anyone or that your person has been out there giving it to everyone. They want me to say that, but it's just you've grown. So when you see each other, that growth as a person is going to come through in the connection. So that's really, wow. Wowza. That's a nice spicy little bit for you there. Beautiful though, really beautiful. So not only have you grown as people, but the two of you have evolved physically, mentally, and spiritually. And for a lot of you, when you connected on that physical level, it was all about the spirituality. Wow, for some of you, that's how you turned your person spiritual. Need I say more? That connection that you two shared when you were intimate, especially if you know your person went around and was with others after that, they weren't able to find quite that connection. You were the superstar in their life when it came to the bedroom collective. You were the person that took it home. Definitely could be a fire sign, could be an earth sign, could be a water sign. Wow, so beautiful though. So look at you, pack your bags, collective. They're saying do that spring cleaning, get yourself ready, because for some of you, this person might just show up unannounced. For some of you, you've been feeling this energy for a long time. Look at that, Ace of Pentacles. Wow, for some of you, when your person comes back, they have leveled up in their life. And you will not expect it, is what Spirit's saying. But you were never with this person for that, but it's like an upgrade. It's a bonus. The two of you have both like leveled up. So you're going to come back together and it's going to be a surprise. That is so beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone, tuning in. This is a beautiful reading. Wow. Look at that. 5 of Cups in reverse. So now your person knows. No more options. They don't want anyone else. They want to be with you. And for a lot of you, you had this realization a long time ago. The end of heartbreak. 3 of Swords in reverse. Finally coming together, healing the past, and forgiving it, most importantly. Spirit has given you so much strength. It's like if you know your person was in a third party, you even got to the point where you just wanted them to be happy. And that's deep unconditional love, knowing that you were supposed to either be with this person, or if you weren't, let them go be happy with someone else. And Spirit was like, intuition, on point, girl or guy, you got this, legit. And they absolutely wanted to gift you back your person when that happened. Especially if you chose to say, okay, you know what? If they want to be with someone else and they're happier over there, truly, as long as they're happy. First of all, when you did that and you pulled back your energy, instantly that mirror went up to your person like, wait, where are they? So even if you're in no communication, as soon as you finally, in a sense, it's like cutting the cord, letting them go. Putting the faith into the universe and saying whatever's meant to be will be. As soon as you did that, your person literally was like, okay, no, that's my person. What am I doing? And then for some of them, they're already in another connection. Ace of Pentacles, though. A lot of you had to separate for that level up. Each of you are in totally different careers now, too. Either the two of you are both in different careers, or at least one of you has a new job, new career. And the two of you both, though, during the separation have experienced so much change. Change in different ways, but like changes that were needed. So a couple more messages for this reading. Thank you so much, everyone tuned in. And we'll finish it off with just some more love messages from your person. Wow, 3 of Wands. So your person's ready to go it alone. To come towards you. If they're in another connection. For a lot of you, they've already parted ways from, say, they were casually dating others or just kind of having fun. They've already put an end to those connections. Spirit wants me to say this. If you know they were with other people, those other people are aware they're coming back to you. That's how transparent your person was. It's like if in the past your person was not transparent with you, and then they just left and they didn't communicate and they moved to other people and they handled it really poorly. Spirit made them learn from that. Spirit was like, there's no way you're going to do that to a next person and then go back to your person. So Spirit literally made them clarify with whoever they were dealing with before that it's over. They want to return to you. So if there's been a little bit of unsettled dust, like a little bit of drama or anything, Spirit's got you pulled back from that, and your person does. That's why your person hasn't come towards you yet, because they're letting everything clear and settle. Anything they got themselves into previously, whether it be other relationships or people disagreeing with the connection, that's where they're at currently. Cutting those ties, separating from those situations that are going to or could get in the way of your connection moving forward. But yeah, your person's already done that for a lot of you. They've already had those conversations, whether you're realizing it or not, or aware of it. They could be more private about their moves moving forward too. For some of you, there was someone definitely, well, not for some of you, I'll say for all of you, this person had one person who wasn't really happy about their decision. And so this person has given them a difficult time about it. But your person ultimately knows they don't need any other options. So they're just really trying to let everything come to a conclusion, if that makes sense. I just keep hearing letting the dust settle. Like letting everything calm down before they come towards you. Because for some people, they're upset. They're kind of upset that they're deciding to either let go of a new connection or let go of old friends. They could have had friends for longer than you that were getting in the way of the connection, and then when you two separated, they realized these people were holding them back. For some of you, it could have even been that far as you having a conversation with your person. Like I said, if one of you is older than the other, it comes down to, you know, somewhere along your 20s where everyone has that realization that like friends are super important. But at the end of the day, it's like you want to spend the rest of your life with a person you're connected to, not your friends. You can't have sleepovers with your friends when you're 40 and 50 or have families with them. I mean, you can if you want, right? But for most of us in early 20s or, you know, even early 30s, you come to that realization that, okay, it's time to do a little less social and a little more focus on building a family and a relationship. But everyone comes to this realization differently. For a lot of you, your person, whoever was the older one, kind of knew this, had already gone through this maybe with their friends. And for a lot of you, the younger person was the one still like about their friends and going out and in that mindset. But now for some of you, you could have been separated for 2 years, 3 years. And this person realized, wow, they just spent 2-3 years just partying with their friends, not building the connection with the person they love. And if you completely walked away from them, that's when they had that realization. But that, I feel like everyone could agree right now. I feel like that's a lesson everyone goes through in life. Just having that realization from like, even you could be a teenager, man, 16, 17, you know, when you spend too much time with your friends and your family's like, well, you just spend a little bit more time at home. It's for everyone at a different age. You go through that realization that family and those that you love come first and then your friends. Having that balance. But for one of you still needed to learn this lesson, and this was a big part of your separation. Wow, too. And so for some of you, your person's friends or your friends knew that you guys were supposed to have a family. So they purposely held them up, had them going out, had them distracted, anything but building on the connection with you. And if anything, the friends were encouraging them to do behaviors that would actually disrupt the connection or would upset you. So their friends could have even been encouraging them to go reach for new relationships for some of you. Or for others of you, just telling them to be non-committal, to have fun. This could have been you too. You know your story. Definitely put it where it fits. If you are feeling like you resonate the opposite way, it could possibly be a cross-watcher. But yeah, all is welcome here. Just put the story where it fits. So really feel like though overall this person realized now what happens. For some of you, they were okay with it at the time when you were trying to say, well, yeah, friends are important, but at the end of the day, are the friends going to be the, especially if you're a feminine, are the friends going to be the one carrying your child for 9 months? Probably not. I mean, unless it's a feminine friend that you got on the side. That's just a whole other karmic story. But basically all I'm getting to, right, is just realizing that at the end of the day, everyone in life, all of us, all of you watching now or in the future, sometime between, let's say, 15 to 40, you have the realization that family is the most important thing that we have. Absolutely. That your own family, the people you love, and everyone, treat everyone equally, absolutely, but just really valuing those connections. Now, for your person, it took them losing you for them to realize that, for a lot of you. Them choosing to go out and have the good time. And maybe, too, sometimes they had friends that you would call, or they would have a habit of calling you to say goodnight. And so their friends would be like, no, don't call. Play hard to get. Trying to give them tips and stuff. But ultimately, the friend was sabotaging it. Whoever did this, totally sabotaging the connection and was aware. And for a few of you, it's you watching that you know that your friend did this. But you only learn through the separation. So, wow, a lot of lessons of growth between the two of you in so many different ways. When it comes to a relationship, when it comes to being an individual. And for a lot of you, the biggest amazing part of this separation is you both found your life purpose. So this is why I definitely feel like a twin flame reading, this would resonate mostly if you know this is your twin, because you both awakened each other to your purpose through this separation. Thank you so much, everyone, tuning in. So a few more messages here. Your person sees you as a either mother or fatherly type. They know that they want to build a family with you. It could have taken them to, Spirit said, dating other people to really be able to step back and compare and say, well, who would be the best person to seriously be with when you're old and gray? When looks don't matter anymore. When who's cool and who's wearing what and shit doesn't matter anymore. And who's going to be a good parent? Who's going to be a loyal partner? Who's going to be committed? And most importantly, I feel like for your person, which you'd be surprised, especially if it's a non-committal masculine who now like has changed, they learn through the separation how much they want a family. And it took losing you for them to learn that. And for a lot of you, this person knows after trial and error of dating, they could have even tried to date younger than you, what they considered to be more successful, or who knows, what they considered to be more greener on the grass on the other side, opposite to you. But what did they realize through this separation and those dating errors, or if anything, dating opportunities? Because there's no errors in dating. Every person you date is a lesson learned as to what you want or you don't want in a relationship and how you can grow as a person. So whoever this person dated other than you since the separation showed them even more how much you're the only person they want to be either the mother or the father of their kids, to build with. And that's really sweet. Wow. So your person might come back a changed man or woman. Well, they absolutely will, but they might be like a 180. Someone who was non-committal comes in. Okay, so let's have a baby. Like, this is the vibe I'm getting. And especially if it's been a long separation. And especially, Spirit just said, if you know they're building their pentacles. For some of you, right before you broke up, this person had told you specifically they didn't feel like they could provide enough for you or the connection. If that's the case, this person literally has had a plan, even if they've been dating other people or whatever they've been doing this entire time. It's literally to save up to be able to give you the life that they know you deserve. And this could be what was the moon in reverse, the secret as well. That this person could have been passing the time with others, could have been dating casually, really making sure that you are their person. No communication, leaving you feeling like you were going it alone for a bit. But ultimately, this person is either about to tell you, pack your bags, we're back and we're going to live the best life, or they were planning all the time for this rebirth together in some sort of way. So maybe they've been saving up to buy you a house together. Like I said too, I feel like your person, regardless if it's a feminine or a masculine, they could have worked for a company before. They could have been like working a minimum wage or a lower end job. And then now they've either built their own business or they've started a new career after upgrading in school. Something that's going to make them do so much more successful in life and be much more stable. And so this is where Spirit has really had your person for the last few months, few years. They've been building. And so when they come back, like, you're not even going to recognize this person, even their work ethic. Spirit's saying like they've changed completely. This person's all about stability now. And for a lot of you, it was the separation between the two of you. That is so sweet, Spirit. That inspired them so much to be that way. I love when they give me that little download just in the middle, like, wait, hold on, make sure you say that. I just can't even. This reading is so beautiful. If you resonate with this, like, you have changed this person for the better in more ways than they feel like they could ever explain. You've made someone as well who was previously not confident feel like they can achieve anything in the world after knowing you and knowing what your love feels like. You've truly lifted this person's confidence in some way or another. Wow. Thank you so much, everyone, tuning in. This is such a beautiful reading. Your person is coming home. They're coming back to you. They're leaving any toxic past behaviors, people behind. So for some of you, they've overcame either going out with their friends. They could have had spending bad habits. They could have had bad habits of non-commitment, right? Just dating around, just being casual when it came to relationships. All that is gone. And wow, this is a deep message. Thanks, Spirit. Some of you, this person had a lingering shadow side. This is why the separation needed to happen, because a lot of you had already overcame your shadow side and this person was in there still. So what caused the separation was constantly the light to the shadow, contrasting each other. The issues being created because your person was on a different vibration than you. At the time, one of you was vibing on a much lower vibration. And now through the separation, this is what Spirit's saying, wow, is going to shock you the most. For some of you, this person has literally, like, if they're younger than you, they've matured all of a sudden. They're like right with you now. Something happened in their life too, maybe since this separation, that they really have learned what it means to have love and a serious commitment. That's just, wow. I'm speechless as a reader. Let's get a few more messages. Thank you so much, everyone, tuning in. If this is resonating, go ahead and hit that like button. And welcome to anyone new just stopping by the channel. This is a really beautiful, intense reading, and I feel honored to get to deliver you this message. I hope you're able to take something away from it. So look at that. In the past, feeling like there was no rebirth, there was no connection. For some of you, feeling like when you separated, you weren't going to have a family with this person after all. This not only hurt you, though, this hurt this person so much more than you know. And it's like, too, with this, whoever was feeling the pain the most, the other person was right behind, energetically, trying to communicate telepathically, being like, I'm still here. But the other person was just so much in their own head about the loss as well. So for some of you as well, this is why this other person moved forward. They stopped feeling your energy. They felt disconnected to you for some of you. You could be an Aries, Leo, Sag, Libra, Taurus, and we've got Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius here. Ace of Wands, though, you always had that telepathic communication between the two of you, no matter what happened. Knight of Pentacles, that is so beautiful. Wow, look at that. So with the Knight of Pentacles energy, this person's slowly been building up their stability, who they are, and like I said, for some of you, a new career, a new business. And when they come riding in, it's like they're going to come in like a stallion, like a whole new person. Welcome. Nice to see some new faces in the chat. I really hope you're able to grab a message. Look at that. The Tower. So this is the Tower moment because the shakeup is about to occur in their life. So collective, big vibe I get from this is you're already on your own. You've been healed, ready, waiting for this new person. Now your person, they're the one with the either third party or other relationships. So this is the Tower moment because, excuse me, I have a hiccup. Spirit's like, the karmics, they don't want me to say it. This is how I feel though. Wow. You know what this saying, cat got your tongue? Feel like this is your person right now because they know once they like let it out that they're coming back to you, all 𝙎𝙬𝙀𝙀 hockey sticks gonna break loose. There is gonna be some people so pissed off that they're coming back to you. So this person knows that once it's out to either the person they're dating or their family or their friends, this is what their next moves are. Maybe disconnecting for some of you from a friend group or a friend specifically. They know that things are going to be shaken up. For some of you, it has to do with their job. So maybe someone they work with in particular doesn't like the fact that you two would be getting back together in a relationship. I'm not sure if they dated someone from their job or it's just a friend. But regardless, your person knows now whatever battles are coming in, they're ready to face, even if it's a financial loss, because you are their 10 of Cups. The two of you are going to build back whatever you lost and more together and like live the happiest life. 10 of Cups is ultimate wish fulfillment. And if you've been tuned in for a bit before, we had the 9 of Cups. And that was one of the biggest reasons for the separation. During that 9 of Cups, you were both able to achieve your own wish fulfillment during that separation. And now when you come back together, you both fill up each other's last cup. You're both the missing link when it comes to each other's love story. So let's get a few messages from your person just to close this reading. And again, if you're just tuning in or if you're just watching in the middle of the reading by chance, this message is specifically for the one that you know that got away, that you were always supposed to be with. And if it's someone that you've idolized as to being this way and they are not, this reading is definitely not for you. This is that genuine either twin flame connection or soulmate connection. And you know through this separation that maybe before things didn't look like it would come back together, but now you truly see that that's your person. That's where your heart lies. And this person really sees it too. Wow. First one that flipped over. I know you are my person. 2 more messages here. This is so beautiful. We belong together through the good and the bad. I want you by my side. Look at that. So who, what, where, when? For some of you, this person's already been trying. It says, I keep calling you, but hanging up. I miss you. So your person's ready to reach out. And this is it. The longer that you're apart feeling the separation, the more your person misses you, the more spirit is in their ear saying, so are you going to reach out? Are you going to communicate with them? Set the air clear? But for some of you, your person just kept feeling like they needed to get themselves to either a certain level, maybe when it came to their finances, their own independence, or their career, before they really reached out to you. There was something that they felt was holding them up. Aw, look at that. I want to start over. And there you go. That's it. That's that moment of Miranda and Steve on the bridge. Literally. Forgetting about the past. For some of you, this person could have been disloyal. You could have been disloyal. There could have been deceit, separation, ghosting. However this relationship ended for you, this person wants to forget about all of it and hopes that you'll do the same and really heal and move forward together. It says, I got scared, so I ghosted you. I'm sorry. It hurt me too. That's the second time that message came out, and it's the only one that came out twice. So definitely this person is acknowledging the fact they always knew what a deep connection it was, but it scared them. And what does your person do? They run when things get hard instead of really sticking it around for the commitment. And this is what Spirit taught them. By taking you away, they don't want to run anymore because they ran away from the best gift they ever received, which was your love, your relationship. It says, I'm unsure how to approach our connection lately. So this is how your person feels. It's been maybe a long time in separation for some of you. They don't know how to come forward with all these feelings and how to explain how much they've grown and changed. The next one says, when I think of love, I think of you. You are my happy place. You have this amazing ability just to calm me down by being with you. So that is so beautiful. That's absolutely how your person feels. Next one, it says, I've never felt this strongly about anyone ever. Wow. So there you go. Ace of Cups. 2 more messages from your person. And look at this. I'm following my heart. My heart leads me to you every time. Every time I try to run, my emotions get the better of me. I love you. That is so beautiful. I just really feel like your person is acknowledging the fact now that they're even aware that when the connection got too intense, they ran instead of being there when things got tough. This person could have left you out in the cold too during a really difficult part of either the relationship or either one or both of your lives. Whoever was non-committal just ran. And it really caused the separation because you were either at a stuck point in your life, you were at a very emotionally low point at your life, or one of you even experienced a loss. And instead of being there for the person through unconditional love, the other person just chose to be emotionless, almost in a sense, and just walk away. Completely disregard the other's feelings. Now, for a lot of you, this was your person because they had this fear of commitment. It wasn't because they didn't love you and they didn't want to be there for you during this difficult time, but ultimately they had this like whole thing going on where they had this subconscious fear. So what would they do instead? They would sabotage it. So with that, we've got one more message and it says, I'm thinking about you at this exact moment. As if. That's the final message. Wow. I can't even. See if we get any more flippers, but all I gotta say is literally your person. The longer you've been in separation for some of you, of course, if you know your person's happily moved on, this may not be your reading. But if you know that you feel the energy and you've been in communication with your person or so forth that you are going to come back together, your person is ready to come back towards you. For some of you, this person wants to take you to your old favorite spot. Maybe you had an anniversary dinner spot, or if you weren't in a connection that long, you could have just had a favorite place to go away for the weekends. Maybe you went out of town somewhere, or you had an activity you always loved to do together. So we've got two messages that popped out. I've got a lot on my mind lately. So there's your person acknowledging lately. They just got a lot going on with them. One more message here. Do you forgive me for the past? You know, it's crazy because I said that was the last message and then Spirit was like, pull a couple more. And then these two flipped out. So your person really, the final message they want me to deliver for this reading is they want you to forgive them. They want to know that when they come back to you, even if they've just been dating so-and-so or whoever, that you're not going to bring that past stuff up. Maybe for some of you, you had a conversation since the separation and someone had their defenses up. Someone felt like they couldn't communicate to the other because the other had their guard up so much. But nonetheless, Spirit wants me to acknowledge whoever had their guard up did have every reason to be, because there'd been so long of no communication and a lack of honesty or a lack of communication in the past that whoever was non-committal had every right to be questioned by the person that was. And so that could have caused a stagnancy as well. But Spirit's saying that both of you just need to have your guards down and really be willing to go all in, to forgive and forget and move forward. I was going to say, or move forward separately, but I don't feel like there's moving forward separately in this reading. It's only moving forward together. And that's just going to be the biggest difference here. Your person, instead of running away, they want you to forgive them. They want you to have the capacity in your heart to realize that they've grown and changed. And at the end of the day, they just want to be with you, regardless of what the situation looks like. So we're going to leave that there. That is such beautiful energy to be in. Your person collective, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 7 weeks. Those are the numbers that stood out to me. Definitely for them reaching out. That doesn't mean you're going to be dating again within that time. But main vibes I got is top 7 months. The two of you will have spent some time together. The important thing I do just want to reiterate one last time for this reading is if you know that you or your person are not coming back together, there was either a toxic ending or the two of you are in other relationships,
realize that this may not be your reading. But otherwise, if you've always felt like this is the one that got away and you were supposed to be with this person, they feel that energy too. And the separation was meant to teach you both many life lessons about commitment, loyalty, and growing as people. For some of you, it's like you got together when you were really young. You both weren't experienced enough in life, or weren't on the same page when it came to commitment and what you wanted out of a relationship. One always wanted marriage and kids, the other just wanted casual dating. But then upon this separation, now you both want marriage and kids, or just a long-term commitment if kids isn't your thing. So I'm going to leave that there, but just know your person really needs your forgiveness. So ultimately, as the reader, that is the last message to convey here, is you two are just working out, forgiving each other, really learning that love can overcome anything, and forgiveness is key. Communication is key. I really hope this reading could resonate for you. If you're new, just stopping by the channel, thank you so much for joining in. And if you're a returning sub or a member, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for all the support. Really hope you were able to grab a message. And it was so nice to see you all tuned in there. Until next time, take care and sending light and blessings your way.